welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, everyone. I know it's been a long time, but we've been waiting on some parts, and lo and behold, one of the major key components has come in today. A lot of things been going on between grandkids' birthday parties. Heather and I got married. You see the grandkids' Porsches over here that I'm going to do some work on. Of course, they're extremely way too fast for them now, but nothing can be left stock in this garage. Everything's got to get worked on. We had a big party here over the weekend, so I had to push everything over here, but it's still very cold in Indianapolis, so kind of trying to wait till it warms up. Did have to get a little heater for the garage, so now we can actually start working while it's cold. My automatic lights, are they going out? Yeah. There we go. And I think if I remember correctly, I got Ethan behind the camera. That white remote over there controls the lights over there. I'm pretty sure it's the white one. Yeah. And it should, turn that one on too. So what I've been waiting on is the engine cradle, which is in this box. So we're gonna go ahead and get this box opened up. So basically what we've been waiting on is the engine cradle so we can mount the engine and the transmission, which we have over here, and actually mount them up into the car. So that being said, let's go ahead and see what this is about. The company that I ended up getting this from is located in Vegas. Anyone that does LS swaps, they're very familiar with them. Travis actually was really helpful. They've got a kit that's already together. It is kind of on the pricey side, so I've been trying to do as much stuff as possible on my own, but in the interest of saving time, I do have to order some of the parts from them because we want to get this car done by the first week in November. This thing has to be driving way before then. We're trying to head to SEMA, folks, so that's the plan. Hopefully we can make it there. And excuse my attire, but just got done eating dinner and working all day. Work's been crazy, still working, 10 to 12 hours a day. But that being said, let's go ahead and open this box. And so for those of you who are not familiar with this company, it's Renegade Hybrids in Vegas. And just going over a little list of everything that they sent in this package here. And I do have to order some more parts from them. Like I said, just in the interest of time, I'm not going to be able to build as much stuff as I would like to because this project has been going on for way too long. And it's time that we get this car back on the road. All right, so this looks like it's one of these supports that gonna go on the side of the engine. So this is gonna be one of the side supports, and then the transmission will hook into there. Very nice, very nice. This is gonna be on the other side. And then this is a very key part right here. So as you can see, and I wish I would have moved all this stuff out so I could actually show you how this gets mounted out. This will mount in the front. You know what? Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, and then I'm going to go ahead and scoot this engine out, and then I can show you exactly how everything mounts up. So give me 20 seconds, and I'm going to get all this rearranged, and I should have done this in the first place. Be right back with you. All right, folks, just moved the engine out a little bit. This is a bunch of hardware that they also sent as well. So this piece here, this is the key component, which is going to go in the front of the engine. So this will go here in the front of the engine. Those two side brackets will run alongside, and then they will actually bolt up to the motor mount there on the engine. And then this will basically bolt into each side piece over here. Sorry, the car is all in the corner, but like I said, we did have a party here. So if you can see, and I don't want this to fall on my head. So it will lock into there on either side, and then the engine and transmission will be bolted to the chassis. So this week, I'm gonna go ahead and get the car moved all the way back to the working area. Like I said, we had a big party. We kind of used some of the garage because so many people were over here. So we had a bunch of tables and stuff like out here for my grandson's birthday. It turned out to be a really nice affair, but now it's back down to business. And so now we have to go ahead and get this car and this project on the way. This was by far one of the larger pieces still left of this puzzle. There's two more that we have to get. We do have to get the wire harnesses left, and then there's another one, kind of a surprise that has to still be get done too, in order for everything to be able to be fired up and then actually moving under its own power. So God willing, we will get this actually, I'm hoping for the next month or two, but I don't want to jinx myself. But this piece here, at least we can get this mounted and start having some real fun with this project. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but it's going to be a lovely one. Finally got some much needed parts in. Already started doing some of the work to the LS3 motor so we can get it mounted inside the 911. Today, what I'm doing is I need to relocate the alternator. So just going to go ahead and show, I've already started some of this. Of course, me always just getting ahead of the game without filming. So I'm going to try to go over and let you know exactly what I did. Heather's actually behind the camera right now. She doesn't want to be seen. She's having a bad hair day, I guess. So she's just going to be doing all the filming. So if you want to come in here closer, what I did, there is actually two bolts that hold this this alternator on, a 15 millimeter up here and then a 15 millimeter down here. I already started taking it apart, and then I was like, you know what, I should be filming all this, just and going through it and explaining everything. So I'm gonna go ahead, and you do have to kind of wedge this off a little bit. If I can get it off now, we'll see. And it's just pretty much being held in there right now because both bolts are gone. This one's taken out, this one's taken out, but I do have to actually take this bracket which holds the alternator as well as the water pump and the water pump pulley. This is going to be taken off. This alternator will actually be relocated down here because, as you can see, this is a mounting point to the chassis, and then the other mounting point is actually over here. If you want to come around this side, the other mounting point in order to mount this engine into the chassis is right here. As you can see, it sits right, the alternator was blocking it, but the alternator is off now, but it will be relocated back down here. There's plenty of relocation brackets for these LS3s. So what I need to go ahead and do is take this bracket off. I could mount it up. The intake does have to be swapped around as well. So that's gonna actually have to be done as well. I'm gonna probably go ahead and do that before I attempt to mount it up to the chassis. So I do have some other things to take off, and this is just, I want to go ahead and just get I guess a dress rehearsal until we can finally mount it up and, you know, go ahead and get the wiring and everything done so we can go ahead and get this thing fired up. So I'm going to go ahead and take this bracket off. I'm going to go ahead and since we're not going to use this water pump, there's some other adapters, like a monoblock, I think that's what it's called, like a monoblock system that we'll be using. Since we do have to mount a radiator up in the front, and then that will have lines going along the rocker all the way back to the motor. And if you can see right now, of course, we had a party, and so the car is all out of its normal resting spot. But we'll have the radiator up front where that bumper cover is in the car, and then the lines will have to run all the way to the back of the car to the motor so we can cool the motor down and get everything properly plumbed. So we'll be taking some more stuff off. I'm going to try to film everything, and what I end up forgetting or missing, I'll try to explain what I've done throughout the procedure, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, went on and took the power steering pump off with the lines. This whole entire bracket is going to be coming off as well. I will be getting a different alternator bracket just to go ahead and relocate the alternator down lower on the right, actually the passenger side lower once the engine goes in. The electric or the power steering pump is actually going to be replaced with an electric system. They typically use like the Toyota Prius electric power steerings. So that's what we're going to have to go ahead and retrofit on this car. So all this has to be taken off just in order to go ahead and get it to fit inside of the chassis. So got one more bolt to go ahead and take off, and then I can go ahead and get this bracket removed. And this whole thing kind of freed up. It actually was not that hard. I got the actual engine cradle from Renegade Hybrids, a company out in Vegas who's been doing these retrofit kits, putting Chevy LS motors in 911s for some time now. And actually, I've been talking with Travis out there, who's been a big help. I've had a lot of questions for him. So he's been walking me through just the whole process. He actually came up with a good plan of attack for me to go ahead and get this car further on down the line. Looks like I got one more bolt. Forgot to take this one out too. So with Travis, I think the next line of attack, I'm going to start from the front of the vehicle and then work my way back. So the next big part that I need to get ordered is going to be the cooling system, which is going to contain of the radiator, which goes up front, and then the lines as well, which those, like I said before, those are going to be run up underneath the car along the rocker panel, and then back to the engine. And so this was a bracket, the alternator bracket plus the water pump bracket. This will be replaced with a different, just an alternate alternator bracket, which will relocate the alternator down here. So as I was saying earlier, now this will not prevent this mounting point in the chassis, so we can go ahead and mount both sides. Once I go ahead and get the intake swapped around, it's going to be time to mount this engine in the chassis for the first time. I'm going to be extremely excited. So I'm trying to get as much work done. Unfortunately, I'm still working my day job, which consists of 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, and then come home and try to get some work done on this. We do have a deadline for this project, so I really need to step it up soon. Both Heather and I need to step it up. So the days that I'm either going to be too tired, you will have my better half out here working on it. Today she just happens to have a bad hair day, but she'll get over that quick. She's laughing at me right now. You're not even going to say hi, Kevin? You're not
Hi.
You're just not going to let them see you. Yeah, there she is. All right, guys. So hopefully today is Wednesday, the 29th of March. I'm hoping that we can go ahead and get this mounted sometime this week for the very first time in the car, which will be a monumental feat.